All right, you're all stuck with us for the next 2 hours. It's the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Jake the Snake Schultz, Derek Brandeo, Ajaja, Ethan Gabor, Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. We're live on 360 Sportsnet, Sportsnet 590 The Fan, streaming always on Sportsnet Plus, Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, where the chat is on fire the last few days when it comes to the Toronto Maple Leafs, our Leaf Hour edition. It is game day. If anyone noticed.
Long time from now, but it is.
Tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs are in Seattle, 10 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet. Yours truly will be there. I'm not sure how awake I'll be, but the younger, better-looking Justin Bourne will be right beside me to nudge me.
Pal, I'm tired now, so we'll see you tonight. We'll be ready to go by then.
I put on the lineup there, Real Kyper and Bourne After Dark. So tune in.
Isn't that what we've been doing?
Yeah.
It felt a little blue.
Tune into the second intermission when things really get squirrely.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Usually under normal circumstances, we would just tee up a game against an opponent, any opponent. Tonight, Seattle, but I don't think the last day and a half, 2 days in Leafland is focused on playing Seattle. So you tell me where you want to go.
Have we overdone it? Did we overdo it yesterday?
I don't know. I know.
Don't look at me.
Was that too much?
Based on the temperature out there on topics of conversation when it comes to the Toronto Maple Leafs, the answer is no.
No, I don't think we did.
I don't think we did. I think we just picked up the vibe that's out there.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, it's like just a simple question, right? What do they do?
Mm-hmm. That's all the show is. That should be the name of the show.
So
what do they do?
I don't know about that, but I mean,
what do we do now?
That's where the topic of conversation is with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we'll get into Seattle, and we'll get some sound bites from Craig Berube on Kyper's Clippers. But where do you want to start, JB? Don't look at me.
Well, listen.
Let's go to Sammy.
I'll start it.
Okay.
Yesterday we had a very passionate first hour where we did some voice raising. Wouldn't say it was quite yelling, but we raised our voices at each other. We were passionate. And towards the end of that hour,
Yes.
Bourne pulled out his pistol and put it towards her head and said,
Yes.
"Say it."
Yes.
And
And do you remember when I told you that sometimes it takes me a while to get there, but like
and you said, "Blow it up." Right?
I did.
You did.
I did.
And
When push comes to shove, I try to explain what I thought could happen, but you asked me finally at the end of the program what I would do.
And then I saw on a rival radio show, one that may even run directly across from us, our friend Chris Pronger, who we've had on this show many times, said, "Take it down to the studs with this team." And, I pushed back on this. I was trying to represent the other side of it. But I'd be lying if I said, maybe I'm not surprised, but I was kind of blown away at how everybody is just like okay with that conversation. That seems to be the common thought throughout this fan base, that the best course of action is to blow it up. And I'm surprised by that. I really am. Like, do people really want that? Like, I know it's been tough this year, but it's just teams they just haven't been out of the playoffs, and people forget what it's like when a team sucks, and they're like, there's only one way to be elite again, and it's to suck, and all these people have had this rebuild thing blown into their head by other teams. I was surprised by the response to it. That's what I'm getting at.
So I think there's a difference of opinion with each and every person that just throws out retool, rebuild,
reassess,
blow it
restructure,
up,
redo, soft sell,
right? Like, we got all these terms.
Putting a lot
We
of
do not agree.
But
let's stick on a
they're
pig.
going to trade two guys.
Let's really break it down where you have that cut line. I want to hear your cut line between whatever you think is just dipping your toe in the water to a more aggressive to blowing it up. When do you not blow it up? Like, what is your cut line between blowing it up and not blowing it up?
I would say the core talents that you have under long-term contract. Willie.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Austin, Matthew Nyes. I don't think you have anyone else. Chris Tanev is a part of that as well.
Wow.
Easton Cowan.
Easton Cowan is a keep.
Okay, so we're really down to just 4 guys.
Well, hold on here.
Aren't we?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, well, I mean,
think about it.
Wow. Troy Stetcher is an untouchable for me, too. No, I'm joking.
Really?
Yes.
We're down to 4 guys.
Yeah.
You get
Troy's
rid of
boys.
one of those guys, and it's like blowing it up.
Yeah.
You keep those 4 guys, and you get rid of anything else, and it's like soft sell.
Retool.
Right?
Does no one remember the
I love
boss
when you
in
do
Christmas
that. I love
Vacation
when you do that
saying,
voice.
What?
retool you? How do we not have that as a drop?
I love when
Retool
you do that voice.
Oh, my
You
God. Right? So,
Jake McCabe in that convo?
okay,
He's under
okay,
contract
all
for
right.
5 years.
all right,
4
we
more.
can, I don't know. I don't
I like him.
I don't think so.
I like
I
him.
don't have him in there that thinking that if Jake McCabe goes, this
This is
thing's
a blow up. Yeah.
we're blowing it up.
No, so you're right. It's 4 players up front.
Correct.
Maybe Tavares and that make it 5.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not a chance.
Okay, it's 4.
Not a chance.
It's 4.
It's 4.
Yeah.
So,
But that's a big delineation.
yes.
It's a massive difference. So, yeah, I think it's fair to say that's the difference between a retool and a rebuild is those 4 names.
Those 4 names.
Retooling, I'll retool you.
Yeah, you found it. So happy
What is that
about
from?
Christmas Vacation. It's the boss. He's pretending to have a phone call maybe when
I don't remember
Griswold
that.
walks
So-
in.
I haven't watched
So,
that movie in
can
forever.
I ask you something?
Been a couple Christmases.
Is there any world where you throw out a Nyes, a Matthews, or a Nylander to see what's out there?
I think, as I say about all GMs of a team who is not good enough to win the Stanley Cup, you have to consider everything. Absolutely everything. And that means Matthews and Nylander too, where you just have to see, is someone willing to completely blow their brains out on a trade because they so badly want your guy? And yeah, so you do have to listen. But I think you need someone to be ridiculous to do it. Like what was in the NBA, Kawhi got traded for 5 firsts one year or something.
Was Minnie ridiculous with their 4 pieces that they gave Vancouver?
It would have to be more ridiculous than that.
No, that's the market right now for the
But I'm not
one of the
looking
best
to make a
defensemen.
trade.
But
Quinn
why
Hughes-
aren't you? Why aren't you? If
Because
you
I
feel-
believe that these guys are tough to get and elite talent.
Okay. All right. I don't. We did that yesterday.
Yeah.
We're good. We're
Yeah.
good. We're good.
So
Okay.
I'm not trying to trade them the way they were
Okay.
actively shopping Hughes. However, if someone says, we'll give you whatever, a whole whack of firsts in this prospect and yada yada, then you listen.
Yeah, if the Columbus Blue Jackets miss the playoffs again, and then they're like, and Zach Werenski's like, I want out of here.
Yeah.
I'd be like, then we can have a conversation.
It does blow my mind that a team like Columbus, who can't get a superstar, doesn't do that at some point. Just say, we're going to give you the next 5 for whatever, 4 firsts. Give us Austin Matthews. Something ridiculous. Just, we need a superstar here. We need people to care.
I do think, though, if there was one guy in the 4 that would be considered blowing it up, that I would probably consider, it would be Willie. I think that there's been a big conversation in this fan base forever. Like one of the core conversations from this fan base has been trading Willie for a number 1 defenseman. And listen, I think number 1 defensemen are harder to find than scoring wingers. Maybe not the way Willie scores and how elite he can be on his day. But if that was a type of a move where there's someone out there that's like, hey, we'll give you a legit one of the 10 guys we always talk about that is a real 26-minute a night guy that's gonna move the needle for you. That is something that I would consider.
I'm in.
And do you think that would be out there?
Like, for the record, like we are talking like Zach Werenski.
Well,
or
yeah,
something.
but they're not going to give you Zach Werenski for Willie
No,
Nylander.
they're not. No, but
He's like the 3rd best guy.
my big fear is that you trade for pieces and not good pieces. Like I'm even thinking with Bobby McMahon. If you're the Edmonton Oilers and you say, we'll give you a third and a middling prospect or something, I don't care. I don't want that. Give us Ike Howard, someone like that you think is a high prospect. If Edmonton hears that, they say no, fine. I'll give you Bobby and a pick. Give you Bobby and a third I want good back. I don't want volume of pieces back.
I totally agree. And everything I'm hearing is that Toronto and Edmonton are talking.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Brad Treliving isn't on the road trip. He stayed back for meetings. And
what are the nature of these meetings?
Well, listen, who knows? I'm not even going to begin to speculate, but
I heard some things.
Unless he's getting called in on a meeting, his meetings are his meetings. He's bunkering down. This is the time now going into the Olympics that they're feeling like we've got two trade deadlines. One to the point where we get to the Olympics and they shut down our official talks or our official trades.
So they have 6 or 7 days till the arbitrary cutoff where they can't trade. I think it's the 4th of February.
Yes, I think so.
No trades till like the.
So they're bunkered down. They're working the phones.
So Bobby's going to switch dressing rooms Tuesday night?
I don't know. There's a lot of noise around it for sure.
It does just make so much sense. I'll say this for the Oilers. He checks a lot of boxes for them in the short term. They're trying to win a cup this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been great in the playoffs.
Well, and that's the thing is he hasn't. But you need him to be a third liner or something where if a puck finds a stick, like last game, you just shoot it in. He shoots it so hard.
See, you're not going to find a better, cheaper guy.
Yeah.
But
I hope if Brad's dangling him out there to the Oilers, he's going to squeeze them for everything he can.
That's what concerns me, though, is you talk about, you're not going to cheaper you mean in terms, okay, never mind.
The salary.
His salary.
What is he, 1.6?
1.3.
1.3.
When you say that
word. You could retain and get more.
What's that?
When you say the word cheaper, I'm like, oh, God, I do think that there's a world where, I think you maybe alluded to this yesterday on air or off air, I can't remember where, that he's the type of guy, like a Lawton, that it's noon on the trade deadline day, and you've kind of struck out on somebody else. You're like, all right, you know what?
It's got to get a guy here.
Got to get here's the first. He's the type of guy that somebody could convince themselves and make a mistake on, like the Leafs kind of did last year.
There would be plenty of time now. You're not making that Bobby McMahon trade unless you feel like I think you can sign him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He has to come with an extension, and it has to be done. Yeah. Right?
So what happens in that scenario? Like the Leafs would have to give permission to the Oilers to talk to his agent. Like once they've agreed on trade, then
100%.
We'll talk about a potential.
Yeah. No, if the Leafs are legitimately shopping him now, you're telling his agent right now, go talk to anybody you want, and you come back to me. And this is where agents are like really good. And they do get involved in helping teams find a match.
And that's happening more and more, right? It was a lot
I
we
think
had
it's
on top.
always happened.
Has it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how eventually Zito goes from being an agent to a general manager. They
Ken Hughes did the same thing, right?
They've got experience now. Yeah. They've got experience. They got knowledge. They know values of players. If they're good,
they get the hustle.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that's a tricky one because Bobby McMahon is UFA, and the Leafs could watch him walk out the door for nothing,
which they can't do. I'm sorry. I mean, how many goals does he have this year? 14, 15 goals? I can't remember the exact total.
He's going to end up with 20, 25, and he's
having a career year and a contract year.
He's cheap.
And he's cheap. You
Bobby
have
McMahon,
to strike while the iron's hot.
17.
Wow.
17. Yeah. Bobby McMahon could not score another goal this season, and he will have teams lining up to get him.
Yeah. What did they give Mangiapane in the summer last year?
3-2.
Yeah.
And he scored 11 goals with Washington. I think he scored
coming off.
Coming off.
But this guy is big. He can shoot the puck, and his skating is elite.
And he's finishing more checks. He's been in a fight this year. He's gone after big guys. Like he's become an NHLer.
He's good.
Yeah.
But I know the 2 weeks at a time. where you forget
Where
he's
he
playing.
just doesn't. Yeah, totally.
Right? So you hope that the pro scouts have been around recently.
Yeah.
But that's why he gets 4, not 8.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
So just to come back full circle here, when I say blow it up, when I say when we hear Chris Pronger say take it down, it is with the thought of just not Willie for me, and that includes Matthews. I'm making calls. I'm seeing what's out there, how many first rounders I can get for these guys, how many blue chip prospects can I get for them, or how many current players on the roster I can pluck.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up because I was going to say the next part of the question was like, because we said it at 4:53 yesterday. What does that look like? Like, are you trying to be the Canucks, or are you trying to pivot where you get some prospect capital and some picks back, but you're trying to get actual players on your team? Like, I don't know what that looks like. That's the thing.
I don't know, Kip. That's a question for you, not me. Is what does that look like for?
The only thing you have to answer is like ownership, right? Now it's Rogers. How do they feel about that? How do they feel about, like, Vancouver will miss the playoffs this year and in all probability next year too.
And probably,
right?
Can I be honest? Probably the year after that.
3 years? Okay. I don't know how anybody feels under this roof about the potential of doing that.
Yeah.
Retooling, I'll retool you.
It could come back where it's like not happening.
Yeah.
Not happening.
You know, it is one of those things where if you do this rebuild, it's not promised that you're going to get guys that get you back there. If you watch a regular season, and if you watch the Leafs over the past few years, there were some nights where they didn't play very well. They just had the better guys. Mm-hmm. A few nights, Matthew shot a couple in, Marner would make a few dishes, Willie'd score one and be like, they weren't better, but they just have a few guys that are just better.
Yep.
And if you don't get those guys, every night's a grind. And, you know, you can draft and develop and, okay, these guys in 3 years, they're going to be ready. And when they get there, they may not be it. And then you go, well, you're the Red Wings or whatever. And you go, okay, we got to do it again. We got to. So I think the fear is not a full rebuild means we're back, baby. And you have guys that right now you're just going to win some games because they're just better. You still have those guys. Yeah. Would you rather try to just support them and build around that than roll this dice? I understand what you're looking at. You're looking at winning a Stanley Cup.
They spent 10 years trying to do that, though, too, right? So I don't know what you think your odds are that you're going to finally get it right with the same core guys.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this question or but like, if Matthews, there's been no indication at all from anyone. Like, it's not like, there's rumblings that he wants out or this or that or whatever. Like, if he just wants to stay here and he wants to be a Leaf and he wants to sign,
like John Tavares,
sure,
right?
But when he's signing at his next contract, how old is he going to be? 30 when he signs his next contract? 31?
Yes. 30.
Like, if he wants to sign an 8-year contract and just be a Leaf for his whole career, would both you guys sign up for that?
Of course. Chris Johnston mentioned today somewhere on radio. I saw it tweeted that he said only thing he's ever heard on Matthews is that he wants to be here.
I know he's not perfect, and I know we don't necessarily love him every night.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I do. I know, but there's just there's a lot of Vlad Guerrero Jr. parallels here for me, where there's that conversation last year around this time where he's unsigned and, it's like, oh my God, what are they going to trade him or what's going to happen or whatever. And ultimately they're just like, here's the contract. You wanted to stay. They signed him for this long contract and he's just going to be here.
And then he just mashes homers all playoffs.
You know what I mean? It's just better to have a guy. If he's willing to stay here, you'd feel really stupid to trade him. That's all. Like, if he wants to go, obviously you have to trade him. But if he wants to stay, I think you just sign him and you just kind of eat it. I don't know. Maybe I'm way off.
No, I don't think you're way off. I think what you have is a feeling that he may not lead me to the promised land, but he's shown me that he can get me in the playoffs and he can get me some gates. Correct. And he can keep the interest going and he can get people excited. Mm-hmm. So 100% value there. I don't want to see Austin Matthews here another 8 years playing the same role that he did in the first 8 as a captain or the face of the organization or the leader, or that's not him.
But
if I can find another guy to come in, he needs somebody.
I'm fine. I like this conversation.
He needs someone above him. He's not Crosby. He's Malkin to Crosby. He's not Jonathan Taves in Chicago. He's Kane to Jonathan.
I think you are nail on the head.
He's not Stamkos. He's Kucherov behind Stamkos, where you can go do your thing, go shoot the puck, go do all of this, but just don't come to me as the face or the spokesperson or anything else.
I'll say this. So you and I, we fundamentally disagree. I do believe that he can be that guy. However, I think he can't be, let's say I think he's Crosby and you think he's Malkin. He can't be Crosby without Malkin. He needs a guy. And I don't know if Willie's going to be that. You need another guy here.
Well, I'm checking my watch here. 2-year contract for Connor McDavid out there.
Okay. Now we're talking.
Buddy.
Now we're talking.
Listen, that's the
pie in the sky.
Whether or not. Listen, McJesus, that's something you could look at in 2 years, 100%.
Yeah.
Right? But you got to do your homework and
matching
you got to
8-year, $18 million contracts for both of them for the
you got to sell that. What's the cap by then?
$110 million.
Whatever Connor wants it to be.
2 years from now? No, it's higher than that.
Is it?
No, it's
117,
way higher. Yeah.
120,
Yeah.
122.
I just got to tell you, boys, I do love that we started about blowing it up and now we're signing McDavid.
Now we got
Matthews
McDavid.
long
We're back, baby!
Our show would be so much fun. Oh, what a time that. So
I would be insufferable.
Who, me? You? Oh my God!
Couldn't even
Oh my
sit
God!
by him. I'd have to sit beside you over
I'm
there.
not working with him.
If the
in 2
Leafs never
years.
signed McDavid, you would not want to be around me.
We're gonna put him right back where we started with him, behind a glass.
So we'll stay in this room. We'll just put glass around his podium.
You're like
glass case of emotion.
You're Maxwell Smart, man. We're just gonna put a cone of silence over you.
Yeah, that's all we could do at that point.
I would worry. Like, I totally agree with you, though. If there's, like, in that Marner article that Friedge did with all the great reporting, and they talked about how he went to Matthews and early, and there was the indication, and we talked about this yesterday, if there's any indication of indifference or, like, I'm thinking about leaving or, like, I'm not sure, to me, you can't take the risk, and you have to make the move. But if he's like, yeah, guys, I'm going to sign a long-term contract with you when I'm eligible to do it, you just kind of have to eat the faults and have him be here. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at on.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yes. I mean, good Lord.
And when McDavid's the number one center and the captain and everybody can go to him, it's fine. So
JT's playing third line left wing.
JT may be a development coach by then.
Can I say something on JT? And listen, God bless him. He's giving you everything he has, and I give him all the credit in the world.
But why
do you give him a new extension with a no move in the first 2 years?
Because they probably get him at half price. That's why.
You were going to get him at half price. He didn't want to go anywhere.
Okay.
I'm just saying now, if you had also JT out there as a potential centerman who people can still feel like he can put up 60 or 70 points and play the power play.
Go be Kadri on Colorado.
They're dying for centermen out there. Teams are just looking like crazy.
And if they went to him, no chance?
Well,
no, you can go to him. I don't care, JB. I don't care. You go to him and say, listen, we're doing this thing, and I'm sorry, but like you're not in the plans in the next.
Just sign that contract.
I know he did.
And I don't mean him. I mean Tree.
I would have hoped that you had some sort of conversation already, but like JT could get you like a second rounder, if not a conditional first right now. Yeah. Like that's real value there.
I think the Leafs could go 0-82 next year, and you could go to Tavares, and he wouldn't go. I think Tavares has a nice family. He's from here. I think he loves being a Leaf. I don't think he's
okay. Then you're gonna be Nick Robertson. You're gonna be in and out of the lineup, and some nights you're gonna play fourth line. And I got to develop new guys, and I got to bring guys in, and right?
Is that return worth moving on from a guy who can shoot at the net and help you out? Like he's fine. He's fine. He's not, to me, I don't look at this team and see him as the problem.
It's not, but it's just time to move on. It's just time to move on.
You missed the window. You
Right?
missed it. You missed it.
And I get it,
but
like,
they'd have
I
an even
don't-
worse record without him this year.
You don't need to turn John Tavares into Patrick Marleau and Joe Thornton and look for places and place them in here. Like, please tell me those days are over.
Can't do that, friend. Can't tell you that. I don't know. It's, we mentioned 4 guys that we thought that they would have to hang on to here. And I really feel like that's kind of it. So,
Okay, before you get to JT, if you ever want to think about it, then, like, what do you do with Morgan Riley now, guys?
I've
Come
even
on.
had that conversation in my head today, Kip, and I just...
You scared to go up to Morgan and say
I'm
it's
not.
over?
I'm not scared about that. I think you're not going to get a ton back, and I think you're worse without him. I know.
Oh, my God. You're, like, in the basement of the division.
Yeah.
How can you get worse?
Well, you just lose more.
Oh.
There are teams below them that are losing more.
You'd be. I think he is the number one guy that a lot of people circle as one of the main issues of this team.
I agree. So I agree that he is. And to me,
Myself included.
it's a role, the old Dion Phaneuf thing where it's like he's miscast.
Mhm.
If he was on a good team, if Florida signs him and he gets to go be their second or third pair guy, whatever, he'd be unbelievable. And so I just think they give him too much here because they don't have anything else. So he leaves, and then who eats the minutes? Are we trying to get better or not? And I just don't see where that guy comes
Are you trying to
from.
get better in 27 games?
No.
Over the rest of this year? No.
Like, are you going to try to get better with him
No.
next October?
Yes.
Can I?
No, I'm saying, you think you get rid of him and then
I
Simone
don't see-
Benoit fills the minutes?
No, go and find another guy. I don't know. That's your job,
Yeah.
right? That's your job.
I just don't think you're getting an asset back. So it's just like you're just take him out of the lineup. To me, it's like you just hit delete and you go, okay.
I think there's now 32 teams in this league. You're going to find somebody.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to eat $1 million or $2 million and bring him down to $5 million or $5.5 million
To get an
Someone's
asset back.
going to take Morgan Riley.
I don't like to do the thing about their records when guys aren't in the lineup because it's just
They
'cause
win all the time.
they win, like they have like a 700 winning percentage when he's not in the lineup.
Yeah.
I do think that there would be. Listen,
I don't want
we
to
all-
give people the impression I think he's been good this year. I
Well-
think he's been very bad.
he digs the puck. It's just at some point it gets to a point where doesn't he, like, if they went to him and were like, hey, will you wait? Like, wouldn't he at this point, wouldn't he want to go?
You would think so.
It's just been such a long time here now. Like I remember watching a clip and it's like he was on the power play with Mason Raymond and Jake Gardner and like Nazem. Like he's been here for so long.
No second pair D-man has had more career power play time than Morgan Riley.
100%. I don't think you're going to be able to move it. Other teams have pro
I think you
scouts.
could. You just get nothing back. So if you're okay with just hitting delete,
What
then
about the B word?
no, I don't think you need to buy him out. I think you'd rather, if you had to retain $1 million, you could or something. But I don't think you need to buy him out.
I don't think it needs to get there. I really believe that you're going to find some match where
Like, what's the match? What's the team?
Like a good team starts him in the O zone and plays him with a good player.
it
And
might not be Dougie Hamilton, but it's like that. You got a headache. I got a headache. Let's switch it up. At least I get a right-handed headache. You get a fresh chance with a left-handed headache.
it actually makes sense for Jersey, too. It's like a little bit cheaper for you. It's not, Luke Hughes is going to be on your
Just
power play
something.
anyway.
Right-handed headache would be a great name for an alternative rock band. But do you think, I don't know. I just have a hard time watching him every night. And if you're a team, it'd be like, 12 minutes of that would be good at $7 million a year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Any of these things we want to hear
No.
from, a huge trip.
You can talk to
Hey,
Luke.
can you remind me, is there a game tonight?
There's a game.
Do we
think
want to
it's the
talk about
Seattle
anything?
Kraken.
Can we mention Stolar starting tonight?
Anthony Stolarz is starting
Let's
tonight.
listen to Craig Berube. We need a Kipper's Clipper. I haven't said that.
It's fine.
For the start of the show.
But this is actually his only good clip. So, good that we're playing it. Let's play it, Derek. Clip
2.
2. Do we have it? I
The
think
worst
we
we've ever called for a clip.
have it. Yeah, I think we've got it.
Yeah, there's obviously, I think he was, we looked at, when you look at him and the game and the tape, he tried to do way too much, and it's understandable being out that long and wanting to help your team, but he just needs to do what he's best at and focus on that, like sometimes you come back and you're a little too eager and you want to do too much, and we felt he was just kind of all over the place.
Okay, this is where I'm going to defend a little bit Stolarz and Joseph Wall here, okay? They ain't used to you guys or the guys in front of them being like the worst in most categories, like shots and rush chances. This is all new to them.
Hey, I'm really mad that I remember this at 4:30, but I did read your article today, and you had mentioned potentially packaging Joseph Wall for Jordan Binnington.
What?
And someone DM'd me and said, make sure you hammer Kyper about this today. So this is me hammering you about it.
I'm not comfortable with both of them running in the future together.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
So you should trade for the statistical worst goalie.
I'd rather get the worst statistical goalie than a guy that I don't even know will show up and play. Okay? At least I know that guy will play.
Yeah.
The other guys, I'm not sure about.
Listen, I'm as big a Jordan Binnington guy as you're going to find. And even me, I'm like, oh, I don't know about that.
That's my explanation.
Yeah, okay.
And he's only got another year on his deal. And the guy's full of piss and vinegar. Okay, he's got attitude.
That's the part that does appeal to me.
Okay, he's got attitude.
Sure.
If he's going to lose, he's going to lose maybe even spearing somebody.
And those things would happen.
Once again, I will take that over Joseph Wall right now.
Wow, that's, to me, really negative on Woll, who, he's been a good goalie here for years. Like, really good numbers,
not
consistent.
In the stretch, I needed him most, and not in relief in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You only get so many chances with me.
Yeah. And that's fine, too. Binnington, you're not worried about decline in his career?
Of course I am.
Terrified.
But, I'm terrified of what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah. I mean, is there someone else we could trade for?
Buddy,
another goalie?
By the way, I left it as a question mark.
Can we get him somehow?
In my article today, I did put a question mark on it.
Well, that means it's okay.
I'm throwing it out there.
Yes.
We should go get the break because Luke's going to join us from Seattle. But
who's telling you to hammer me? I want to know.
Legitimately a person who I've never communicated with before. I'm sorry, my friend.
The list is too long.
Okay.
Before we go to break, this is another Zsa Gabor special. I told him to text me to remind me. But tease the Leafs line tomorrow. So do Leafs line on Friday, 416-413-4141, 416-413-4141. Yeah, will probably be a pretty lively Leaf line.
Shout out my boy Kitch. That's who.
Does Zsa cut your meat too?
No, I don't know what that means. Is there some meaning behind that?
I think you got to be a parent to understand that.
Oh, like you mean like like that?
Yes.
Oh no, he doesn't.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I don't eat it
through the day.
I don't eat at the office though, except for Timbits.
Okay,
roast salads.
What do we got next?
Those.
Luke Fox.
Yeah, from Seattle.
Luke from Seattle next, and then Jason Bukala at the top of the hour
in studio.
Yeah. Wow. All right, don't go away. More Real Kyper and Bourne after these words. Welcome back to the program. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. All right. All the way from Seattle. Right?
Coffee and rain.
Luke Fox, NHL writer, sportsnet.ca. Sleepless in Seattle. Luke?
These are all the things we know about Seattle.
Hey.
It is, yeah. It's rainy, it's drizzly, the coffee's good. But at least it's warm enough that I could take a scooter to morning skate. So
You took a
that's always
scooter?
fun.
That is very lefty Pacific Northwest of you. How eco-friendly.
So it's on brand. Yeah.
Pick anybody from players to coaches to general managers to owners. Who is the most sleepless in Seattle these days?
Well, if Brad Treliving was here, it might be him. This roster is showing its cracks right now. And I think the general manager is going to speak to us later on this road trip. And I'm really fascinated what he's going to say because, the quarter mark and after he fired Mark Savard, the assistant coach, he was saying things like, we're not waving the white flag. We're sticking with the plan, which is try and make the playoffs. But I'm sure he has access to the NHL standings, and it's going to be harder to stay that course. It always felt like Plan B was to make Plan A work, and Plan A is not working. Like they're going to have to come up with a solution. So I'm fascinated to see if he takes a realistic approach and realizes that he might have to sell off some pieces or really rethink the strategy, because I think the organization is stunned to find themselves where they are at the end of January here.
It's so funny, Lucas. Yesterday we did the show. I don't know if you caught any of it, but we, more or less pushed this dynamite stick down on things. But I was thinking if they went out west and they won a bunch of hockey games, they win the 4 going into the break. They win 3 of 4. Is there a world where they still go, or we're not done yet? We're gonna keep fighting it out this year?
I think there's a world. I don't think that's the world they should live in, but absolutely. I think, if they win 3 of 4 here, and maybe if Boston loses the next 3 of their 4.
They're like 4 out going into the break.
Yeah, maybe I really think they're going to use all the time they can before the trade deadline to make the hard decisions. And I think they're still crossing their fingers that they can get it going here. It's not as if they're calling up and playing the kids or anything. They're trying to fight still.
Stolar's playing tonight. Is there a sense that he feels like way better than his original start since coming off the IR here against Vegas?
Well, he better, right? He was looking rusty, and it's interesting. Craig Berube had a conversation with his goalie. He said, and often, a lot of these modern head coaches kind of leave it to the goalie coach to kind of deal with it. It's like, I got my hands full with special teams and the D and the forwards. You go deal with the goalie. I don't understand the goalie. But he said that they went over the video with him, and his takeaway was he was trying to do too much. First game back, he was swimming a little bit. He's like, he just needs to be calm, stay big, be poised. And he felt like he was trying too hard, trying to make up for lost time or something. But yeah, I mean, if they are going to, pull off some sort of miracle run here, they're going to need the goaltending, both Stolarz and Woll, to be much better than they have been this month.
Coach was mad at you the other day, hey?
Oh, is it me or is it just mad at the state of things? I don't know.
I think it's the state of things.
I thought his stitches were going to tear.
The one thing you mentioned, I saw you tweet today. So Nylander skated today. Full participant, looked okay, but he's not going to go tonight.
He looked okay.
Okay.
Someone observing the morning skate said he's not kicking up a lot of snow out there, is he?
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's easing his way back. But the plan definitely is to get him up and playing before the Olympics here. Berube said there's a good possibility that he makes his return Saturday in Vancouver, but it's not tonight. He didn't take power play reps. He wasn't part of the Tavares line. He was rotating in, but he was a full participant with the team, and that's a first. Okay. So there is progress being made.
Look, when you watch the team, is there, I don't know how much you're around them, or you can feel the vibe of them, or even what you got out of a skate this morning, I guess. But, you know, is there a sense that they seem a little bit more relaxed than maybe some of the people in the fan base?
Oh, definitely more than the fan base. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I think you're sitting with a prominent member of the fan base.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, in my day, this time of year around the trade deadline is really, it makes a lot of guys uptight. It really does. And I think with this unique trade deadline coming up for the Olympics and then another one in March, it would only add to the anxiety, I think, for some of these guys.
I think for some that would be understandable for sure. They're really trying to keep their minds in small places. I had a chat with Brandon Carlo today, and he's like, we're just trying to treat this like a 4-game series. He's like, yeah, it's human nature. You could get caught up looking ahead to the long break. And he did admit that this year feels like they need the mental break and the physical break, just with the condensed schedule. And he's one of a handful of guys that's playing at something a little bit less than 100%. So there is a sense for the players that they want to get to that break, and they're going to enjoy it. But they're trying to treat this road trip as a 4-game series, just try to win this series. And obviously, you know, there's a bitter taste from how they performed at home, but yeah, it's out there, right? You feel it. You know, I also had a chat with Scott Lawton talking about, does he want to re-sign with the Leafs? You know, the trade deadline's around the corner. He mentioned, like, he's like, we gotta get points. His belief is still there. He said, I think this is a special group. We just haven't been playing well. Like that, and I guess that's just the athlete mindset. You can't allow yourself to think, oh my goodness, this season's a waste. You have to be like, today I'm in Seattle. We're playing the Kraken. We got to go out and win a hockey game. And it's got to be hard to train your mind to think that way. But that's kind of the vibe I'm picking up from them.
So Luke, let me get this straight. You asked him if he wants to resign here in Toronto. Did he give you a definitive answer? Because it's more important than ever that we watch UFAs go in and we watch body language and we listen for answers and cues, whether or not guys avoid things or they answer head on.
Yeah, he answered it head on, which, you know, props to him. You know, he referenced the trade deadline last year, and he basically had conversations with Philly. Like, if you're going to trade me, I want to go to a team that has a chance to win a Stanley Cup. And he identified Toronto at that time as one that could do it. And I said, you know, do you see yourself wearing a Leafs sweater next season? And he said, I sure hope so. Mm-hmm. I got to prove to them that I can be part of the solution here. And, you know, a lot of guys, like you said, Nick, are non-committal. They're just say, well, you know, that'll take care of itself, or, you know, I'm just trying to worry about tonight. But he was definitive in saying that he wants to be wearing the blue and white. He loves being near family. And he said that he's made a lot of friends on the team pretty quickly here. He's comfortable, and all the guys rave about how they get treated, right? It's first-class treatment. So yeah, he wants to come back. And I think it's worth bringing him back. I think you just need to find out if you're going to match his number. This is what Brad has to do over the next few weeks here. It's okay. You don't have to sell everyone as a UFA, but you have to have a decision on them. They can't all walk out the door as own rentals, especially if you don't make the playoffs.
I think this is like what's so challenging about where they're currently at is like they have a guy like Lawton who wants to compete. And the other day, Nyes said he still thinks they'll get in. And you got Matthews and Nylander. And like you've got these guys, like if you tank or blow it up, like you're still going to win a good amount of hockey games here. So it kind of feels like they're in purgatory right now.
Agreed. It's a really fascinating spot that they're in. This is why the GM makes a ton of money, right? Because these are hard decisions. And then clouding all this is, you know, Trey Living himself. You don't know what his future is. So then you got to ask, if he's not around for what might be a reset or retool, whatever word you want to use, should he be the one making these calls? You know, and I mean, we want to talk to Trey Living on this trip, but I think, you know what, at some point we might need to hear from Keith Pelly too. I just don't know what the vision is right now.
It's a real good question. And a lot of people are asking it right now, but I don't think we're going to get any answers anytime soon for now. So we'll focus on tonight, Seattle and the Toronto Maple Leafs on Sportsnet Ontario.
It's so funny. I'm so wrapped up in the Leaf stuff. I'm like, how are Seattle? What have they been up to? You know, it's
they're going to play.
They're in the mix. They're in the mix.
Yeah,
they're one of 4 or 5 teams right now battling for a wild card spot in the Western Conference. So they're Leafs are going to have to play real well here.
And they're defensively strong, right? They got the big D. Brandon Montour, Nick Kypreos' favorite.
My favorite
back there.
Yeah.
So
Luke, have a Starbucks for us or something out in Seattle. I don't know. What do you guys do other than jump on scooters?
Catch
I
a
love
raw
coffee,
fish.
so it's a good town for that.
All right, our very
Thanks,
own Luke Fox, Sportsnet.ca.
Right. See you guys.
And number one guy to piss off a head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Doesn't matter who.
Yeah.
Sheldon,
Tough
Berube,
questions.
doesn't matter.
You know, growing up in Kelowna, BC, we used to go down to Seattle to catch the Blue Jays. That was the best you could do back then. You know,
It's still like 3/4 of the fans in that game will be Blue Jay fans.
it's really funny because people think in Toronto that everyone out west hates them or whatever, and not entirely true. There is some rivalry there, but the Jays are
So
local there.
So tonight,
Thank God. I mean, that's going to be a nightmare for those Seattle fans next series when the Jays fans go down there and they're just like, yeah, we have the ultimate.
okay.
Oof.
So we got 4 games to go here. We got Seattle, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton.
Mhm.
Does that sound right?
Yes, it does.
So it doesn't sound right. It is right.
Has to be like 3 of 4. 2 of 4,
minimum.
no good.
Are we talking about trying to make the playoffs again?
No, we're not.
No, we're just talking about, I don't know, like
Last.
to your point, interest or, right?
I'm looking at the standings. Yeah, okay. So let's say they win all 4 games, 8 points. That gets them up to, what was that math out to, 65 points?
Yeah, with 24
by then
games to
they're 5
go?
or 6 back.
With 24 to go.
I'm telling you, they got red hot. They could talk themselves into it. And that would change the deadline. But it's almost like, for just simplicity's sake, a loss would be the preferred outcome. To clearer direction.
This is, like, the Leafs could get kicked in the teeth tonight before even puck drop because they will have known whether Boston and Buffalo had won or lost before their game starts.
Yeah. I mean, your scoreboard watching pregame in game 53 or 4, you're cooked.
Yeah, you
right?
are.
That's trouble, Bill. So, but yeah, Seattle Kraken. They've won a couple games in a row. They defend well.
So
their head coach was on the Leaf bench last year.
Lane Lambert.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a real technical guy. They're playing with more structure.
Great.
Yeah, I'm just saying, maybe we can look at a lot of things that were lost last season, but maybe that one might be one of them.
I have, in hearing about different coaches, it sounds like Craig Berube's a very good motivational coach. People like him. They like to play for him, work with him. But yeah, he's not the X's and O's technical side of things. So he needs to be surrounded by guys who are good at that. Maybe that does have some impact. Could be. I don't. It ain't the loss of Lane Lambert that got you where you're at.
Probably.
No, but there is such a term as death by 1,000 cuts.
Absolutely.
All right. So you mentioned the 4 games. In your heart of hearts, how does this go?
They win tonight.
Lose tonight.
They're definitely
Win against Vancouver. Win Calgary. Lose Edmonton.
So 2-2.
2-2.
Win. You lose to Edmonton.
Okay. I like your plan better.
Yeah.
I don't.
0 for 4.
0 for 4 from McKee.
I got a feeling it's got a chance to get ugly here.
I think you'll learn a lot about where they're at
I just
mentally
think
tonight.
they all know. They all know.
I just want us all to remember, again, like, you can talk about Stolar swimming like crazy, but you're swimming like crazy because you're 32nd in the league and cycle chances given up.
Yeah, you're getting pumped. The other team has pucked the whole game. You're post.
So how can you not swim?
Yeah, you're Michael Phelps in there. You're doing the
Backstroking.
butterfly, backstroke, post to post.
Throw me something.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been good. I do think that this is the team. The only reason I've picked win is because you and I've done the show for 5 years. What's the line? Just when you think you're out.
That was old Leafs.
I know.
That was old Leafs.
And if this is how they end,
This is the new
this is
stuff.
how they end.
Whatever I say, you're going the other way. We got a lot of losses.
We got a lot of losses.
We got a lot of losses. Our thanks to our very own Luke Fox. Jason Bukala in studio. Oh my, I'm going to pick his brain like crazy because he's a former scout and he knows everything you need to know about values, draft picks, and prospects. All right. We are halfway through of not solving a thing.
Every week. Every day.
More when we return after these words. Do not go away. That is an order. All right. Here we go. We are national on the Real Kyper and Bourne show. Sportsnet. Sammy, be quiet over there.
Just reading Sammy's first note. Leafs suck, now what?
Oh, boy.
Is for the first question for Books.
650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary. Streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, where we always appreciate a thumbs up. And if you get a chance, subscribe to Sportsnet on YouTube. Glad you're along for the ride. This hour of Real Kyper and Bourne brought to you by Bet365. Let's welcome in studio, Jason Bukala, Pro Hockey Group, Sportsnet. Does a great job for us. Always love having you on. Always learn something new.
That's quite an intro you guys have, eh? Like, I don't know how Kyper does all
I don't know either. I'm like the most unprofessional person you can ever find.
You really
No, but you've got like all those handles. I mean, geez, YouTube, Spotify, yada, yada. Wow.
Listen, we know it's a national show, and we know we have a 1 hour on Leaf Edition, but I'm evolving. The Leafs have kind of turned into a bit of a national story right now with, I think, how far they are from a playoff spot, and the thought that Leafs missing the playoffs would have been almost pretty close to like the Oilers missing the playoffs this year. It's just no one had it in their equation in September or October, and now it's a real strong, realistic thought now. So let's start there, Books, in terms of just your experiences as a scout before or feeling like where the Leafs are feeling right now. Take us into their management office from Brad Treliving to the scouts to assistant general managers and what they're feeling right now, looking at the daunting hill to climb to get back into a playoff spot.
Yeah, so in both my stops in the National Hockey League, Nashville and then Florida, two completely different scenarios in terms of stability, because David Poile was in Nashville forever, right? And he was a stabilizing force there. We went through some things, Kyper, back then that ownership-wise, but the trajectory of the franchise was really strong. Like, we had a really good team for a lot of years, and we started to bring in some free agents as well as develop some high-end talent in-house. Suter, Weber, you can David Legwine. You go down the list of different. We kind of climbed the mountain and then didn't have the funds, the infrastructure. We had when the cap came in, we had our own internal cap, even though the cap was only $40 million back then, if you can believe it. But we had our own internal one, and that was frustrating because you could only build so far through the draft and you wanted to add, right? Because now you felt like, in Toronto specifically, you've gone through that core 4 build or the core build, and you want to add to that in the right pieces to get you over the top if you can. And we were never quite able to do that. When I went to Florida, it was a significant rebuild, and we climbed, and then we went through an ownership change, and then we added through free agency, and we were getting really close to being good. We missed playoffs. We had 99 points one year, missed playoffs, which is
really
astounding, right? Bobby Bugner was the head coach, did a hell of a job. But anyways, we were really close, and we added to our core group, and the young guys were starting to get there, the Barkovs, the Ekblads. Then, on my way out the door there, one thing I'm really proud of for our staff that was there was that we left the cupboards stocked. I mean, stocked. They traded, the Florida Panthers have won 2 Stanley Cups, but they traded out 9 of our draft picks that were NHL roster players for them. Just look around the league. It doesn't take very long to connect all the dots. So they were able to trade out infrastructure to bring in extra layers, if you will. And they still had a full cupboard of draft picks to work with as well to do whatever they wanted to do. I can take you behind the curtain, and I can tell you for certain that every day stinks. It sucks. And I'm telling you, it's the worst feeling in the world right now for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Vancouver Canucks they're mailing it in. I get it, but it's really tough. It's very difficult. And where the Leafs have gone astray here, in my estimation, you have to hit on draft picks in the middle to the late portions of the draft. It's one thing to say that you don't have draft capital. That's a fact. They haven't had high-end draft capital. But if you look at the really good teams in the league, and I'll even take a look at what we did in Florida. Mackenzie Weegar was the 4th last pick in the draft. The Josh Browns of the world, they became assets that you can move other places to either pick up bodies or pick up other infrastructure. The Leafs don't have that. And 4 out of the last 39 guys, 4. I was doing some math in my hotel today.
Yep.
Out of their last 39 draft picks, they have 4 full-time NHL players.
That's bonkers.
Okay, and that's tough. That's tough. That's.
There can't be a worse team out there for that percentage.
I'd have to go through the entirety of the league. Now, I will say this, and I want to give everybody a break here. You got different general managers that come and go, maybe a little bit of a different philosophy or trajectory. But here's the thing. When you get into the middle of the draft, you have to be looking for, would you guys agree that they lack that intestinal fortitude? Like there's not that wave of character that's coming through the organization. Those guys that will give their eye teeth to win a game. Generally speaking, you find those guys in the middle of the draft. Why? Because they're underdogs already. So if you're ticking off your boxes properly, if they can play fast enough, they can think fast enough, and they're relentless competitors in that area of the draft, they'll have a chance, right? They'll have a chance. In the Kyle Dubas era that was coming through here, what did they draft in the middle of the draft? Small skill, right? Small skill. You might get those guys hit once in a while, but I'm doing this off the top of my head. It might have been the 2021 draft. They actually had tons of draft capital. I think like 9 picks or something like that. Was it 9, Sammy? Yeah, they had 0. And they got nothing out of it. Okay, so there's a strategy that goes astray, and you can look at what's going on today. I'm foaming at the mouth. I hope you guys don't mind. You can go. You can throw a lot of snowballs today, but the reality is, if you would have hit on 3 guys right there, those types of middle of the lineup guys that with the grizzle and the character, you're not shopping for it. It makes your job a lot easier.
So if you look, we've been talking about the Leafs and how, they want to reload. So they're going to trade some guys and get some assets. But you don't want to get picks who are good in 3 years. So you're kind of looking at prospects. What prospects are available? And the type of guy who you can get in a trade, I look at the Islanders picked up Cal Ritchie. Kuznetsov, I don't know how to say it, from Boston got traded, and he's got some value in
San
Boston.
Jose.
What kind of guy are you getting if another team is? I'll be honest. I'm thinking of Isaac Howard when I say this from Edmonton. What kind of guys can you get? Is it even possible to get a really good young prospect? Because teams usually know what they've got in these guys after they've had them in the system for a year or two.
Well, let me back it up there. When you put me on the spot like that, what are you trading out to get that? Like, what do you think has value to return an Isaac Howard or
we had said,
Cal
what if you sent Bobby McMahon and a third or something to Edmonton for Howard? Okay, so Bobby McMahon. If I'm sitting in a war room right now, the fits for Bobby McMahon, big guy, skates downhill pretty fast. We would agree with that. You might not expect them. If you can provide you secondary offense on a good team, you're probably happy, right? Mm-hmm. So you start ticking off, okay, well, Colorado, could they fit him? Yeah, they could actually fit him salary-wise. Then you start going through. The problem with some of these organizations, Colorado is one, they don't have a lot to give back to you. It's going to be very difficult to cherry pick some of these guys.
He would be the cheapest amongst anybody out there.
What's that, 1.6? 1.3. So completely affordable, even if you eat.
You'll get rid of a body just to fit that in.
Yeah, for sure. So to go with what you're saying there, I think you get a mid-range prospect, call it, in my mind, without naming a name, someone who's been a late second-round pick or something like that. And then you probably, if you eat some of that money to give them more flexibility to make another deal, you move up again. So the fourth becomes a third in a scenario like that because you eat some cash and it gives them some flexibility. It's going to be very, very difficult. And I don't think with some of these teams in the league, Toronto included, and I think actually Toronto might be the poster child. People don't want to hear it, but I don't know that there's a life preserver out there necessarily. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that there's that exists. I think that some of these teams are looking at and they're saying, geez, I don't know if I really want to do that with them. It's because there's that strategy that goes on behind closed doors, guys. It's a love-in it's a kumbaya when they're at a meeting, but they're competitive as all can be. And they don't want to provide for someone to retool and be really good next year if it's going to cost me long-term on my roster as well. Right. So there's a lot to unpack there.
So we had this conversation earlier in the show, Books, in terms of what we perceive as blowing something up and doing something softer, as Samuel likes to call it, a soft sell, which, like, I want to puke when I hear that, but that's another story for another day.
Yes.
We had said for the Leafs, only a pure blow-up would have to be one of Matthews, Nylander, or Nyes. After that, and we included Cowan too, because he's really their only blue chip prospect, I think, in the organization right now. A plus or plus A.
He's an A.
He's an A.
That's not
okay. So after that, it's you're much closer to retooling, are you not?
Oh, absolutely. Nyes is untouchable for me. I think he has what I'm looking for, to be honest with you. I think if he was not surrounded by this leadership group and as he continues to evolve as a person, I think he's a guy that you can he ticks off a lot of boxes for me.
Yeah.
So that's not where I'm going.
Okay, so let me go another way then for you. Okay, we just watched the Vancouver Canucks do it with Quinn Hughes.
Yep.
Is there anything out there that could be deemed a positive move if you thought about shopping Matthews or Nylander?
Well, you lose on the front end to win on the back end with that type of scenario. There's not a Z Buyam who's going to come in, and when you move a Matthews out, you're not going to get a one in return. Like Z Buyam has already proven before he got a puck in the face that he can play north of 20 minutes if pressed right now, right? But you're not going to get a guy who's going to put the puck in the net 30 times right now, like out of the box. So it makes it really difficult. But here's my strategy because I thought about it a lot after I started throwing bricks at my TV watching William Nylander flip the bird. Some people say that that's no big deal. Okay, to me it is a big deal. Okay, because here we are, the three of us. We work here. We're employees, right? Yeah. If we're having a bad day and you turn to the camera and you Sammy, and you flip on the bird, like what happens? We get fired. Something happens. It's not good, right? And you got a 1:30 in the afternoon game. I know you guys have probably digested this. I don't want to regurgitate it, but here I am. So 1:30 in the afternoon, it's a kid's game. That's what it is. And you do that. I just think I wouldn't want my 26-year-old to do that. So it speaks to the internal character of the team. It speaks to, I can only speak from my own experience. And I can tell you for a fact that when I was in Florida with Barkov, Ekblad, even when Huberdeau was there, to go to Florida or to Calgary, what a ballsy move by Bill Zito. Isn't that what we're kind of talking about here a little bit? Like the Matthews, and like to break the band up for the good of the franchise to take it to another level. When they traded Weegar and Huberdeau out of there and Trocheck before that, all these guys lived on the same street in Las Olas in Florida. They're all driving their golf carts around together. They're all tight as can be, okay? When they broke the band up, it was for the good of the franchise. And is this team going to get any better in the next couple of years? And are we going to walk ourselves into a Quinn Hughes situation that Vancouver just had? I'll ask you guys that question. So if the answer is a yes or a maybe, then you have to explore all options.
If only there were some comparables within the city. It's like the Blue Jays traded Teoscar and Lourdes Gurriel, and all of a sudden they got hot. The Raptors traded DeMar DeRozan, and all of a sudden they got good. It's not unprecedented.
You're starting to come on my side a little bit?
No. I'm just saying there's a case. There's definitely a case. So,
well, the case has to be for the trajectory. Like, you've lived this, guys, for 9-10 years.
Yeah.
And the cupboards are bare. Mm-hmm. Okay, take a look what they have in the next 2 draft cycles. They have 2 picks in the top 4 rounds, I believe, in the next 2 draft cycles. 2 good drafts.
Yeah.
As we sit here today, I think that's going to change. Okay.
So let's talk about the draft. Vancouver Canucks are bottoming out on purpose, and they are going to pick high, maybe very high.
Yes.
Would it make you nervous to pick first this year because it's so tight and you don't want to get it wrong?
I don't think you're going to get it wrong in the top 3 picks.
Like anything you do, you're going to be okay.
I know I don't mean to regurgitate it, but it brings me back to the McKinnon, Barkov, Seth Jones. Druin is Druin in that draft cycle. But I think that you're going to get 3 really good players at the top of the draft here. They're all going to be different. You're going to have 2 wingers, maybe a centerman slides in there, but Verhoff, big 6'4", 220-pound right shot defenseman, who, by the way, everybody's talking how great McKenna. He's been shot out of a cannon after World Juniors. Verhoff's a point a game, fellas, as a 17-year-old defenseman.
Books, I did the comparison to the draft of Tavares and Hedman.
Yeah.
And
that's a good one.
Where McKenna's Tavares.
Yeah. That's a really good one because Tavares' exceptional status, all the accolades in the Ontario Hockey League.
Yeah, World Championships, all of it.
All that kind of stuff. That's a really good one with Hedman, too. So there, One's won Stanley Cups, and one's just been a great pro.
Well, listen, I mean, early, no question, like Hedman struggled in Tampa Bay. It was not a given those first 3 years. And Tavares came in and, of course, played the role of the face of the franchise, but then it turned.
The big boys do. Chara struggled early. Like, I just feel like that's a thing.
Okay, but do you guys not agree it's harder? You guys have played high level. You played in the National Hockey League, high leverage games.
Yeah.
It's really difficult for a defenseman to come in and play 22, 23. We went through it with Ekblad as well.
Except for Schaefer.
You know, except for Schaefer. There's always
he's excluded from this conversation.
Okay. But, you know, that's a great example.
But so you've got Hedman and Tavares in this comparison, and you don't have either McKenna or Verhoff as your top guy, do you?
I have Stenberg as my top
That's
guy.
okay.
Yeah.
So who's he in this analogy?
So Stenberg is a winger that plays the game like Barkov. He thinks the game like Barkov, really calculating. So off the puck, his routes to kill a play or to find a puck that gets turned over.
He has defensive ability?
I
thought that was illegal in young players today.
29 points in 28 games in the SHL. It's phenomenal. Scores game winners, 3-on-3 overtime over there. He's over the boards at his age. Veterans are sitting on the bench. It's something to watch. I'm going to give you guys a name, though.
Okay.
Caleb Malhotra from the Brantford Bulldogs. Okay.
Did you say Malhotra?
Yeah. Manny's kid.
Yeah.
This guy's a complete player. He's like a Nick Suzuki type player, and it's going to...
Top 5?
I have him 4.
You had him a 4.
4.
So if the Leafs bottom out and keep their pick, they could get... I mean, their pick is top 5 protected. They could conceivably lose enough to get down there.
If they lost enough and they were in the 4, I'd run up to the stage to draft this kid.
Is that
I really would. Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be at the top of the table for them. So I just start connecting some of the dots because there's not a lot of dots to connect right now. But you got Cowan, you got Malhotra, and I guess you got whatever happens after that. But that's a good start for sure. Great player.
Okay,
3 zones, everything.
What is Vancouver? Where does Vancouver go in all of this, in your opinion?
It's going to be interesting, right? I hope that they don't start introducing a flag bias in their process. And what I mean by that is if it's Stenberg on their list, they've drafted a lot of Swedes. Let's be honest. Lekaramäki.
God, they're in last right now by 8 points. I'm sorry I just didn't realize they were in last by 8 points. Like, they're going to pick first. Very likely.
Well, are you going to stay up late tonight to watch the game?
It's
I'm up. I'm working the Kraken game.
There is still a lottery here.
Yeah. Well, you're right. I mean, there's the possibility they don't.
Bingo bango
but they'll
balls.
be picking.
But they'll go to 3.
Yeah.
So if they go from 1 to 3, still a great player in there.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I mean, you want one. You want all the flexibility in the world. And the phone will start ringing right away because there's going to be 3 or 4 really good players there. But they need centermen. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't want to draft for need at the top of the table. You got to draft the best player. Okay.
Yeah.
They need centermen.
I can't recall ever going into a trade deadline where teams were screaming for centermen.
Yeah.
And I mean, Naz Kadri's out there. We know that. Yeah. My understanding is that the prices aren't still where Calgary would like them to be. And as a scouting staff, you've watched prices go up, but correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, they can go down pretty quickly too as you get to the deadline at 3 p.m.
Oh, it used to be that you'd have to get in the queue in the old fax machine there, and you better have your ducks in order. Anymore, it's still the same in terms of the lineup. You better have it. You don't want that to go down to the wire there. Mm-hmm. Craig Conroy, that's not going to happen. Something will give there for sure. Calgary, they can't score goals. Okay, and Naz's statistical analysis, like he was good last year, really good. Calgary just can't score now, and actually they couldn't really score last year either. But he's going to help somebody out, and with that grizzle, and he's in fantastic shape. He still plays fast.
Yeah. What type of fall off is there? So, like, I'm thinking, let's say there's a nightmare scenario out there where Canadian hockey loses. McDavid could leave in a few years. Matthews could leave. You know, we could lose a few stars. I'm looking at the bottom of the table. Canucks, Calgary, Winnipeg, all in the bottom 4. Rangers and Blackhawks right there too. A couple of big cities. Where is a fall off in the draft in terms of quality of player? Like after 3, it sounds like 1. Is there another tier of players?
So speaking on the centerman thing, I think this is a conversation that has to be had. So you've got a couple of different things. I imagine you're the Calgary Flames, okay? And you're looking at if you've monitored the way that they've made trades recently, they've actually they've stocked up on defensemen quite frequently in the last couple of years. They got a lot of depth there. But again, they need a centerman to come through the system. So depending on who their trade partner is and how much draft capital they get in the first round. Imagine they're at 8, okay? And they want a centerman in the draft. Well, I've already mentioned Malhotra, the Tynan Lawrence kid who's playing at Boston University right now. He's the next best centerman on my list. Viggo Bjork, who's playing in the SHL as well. He was awesome for Sweden at the World Juniors. He can play the middle. He's a smaller guy, though. So he's even smaller than Lindholm, okay? So it's just a different kind of a player. What I'm trying to tell you here is that if you trade a centerman out and you inherit draft capital and you're still targeting centerman in this draft class, there's going to be a drop-off after the top 6 guys go. So it's going to change things. Then you're going to get into a run of Carson Karls from Prince George, awesome defenseman, great. He's got Ryan Suter type of attributes to his game. I really like this kid. And then I would say probably 7 or 8, you're starting to go, there's another tier. It's my line in the sand.
Okay. It's important to know.
You're watching and listening to Jason Bukala, Pro Hockey Group, Sportsnet, former NHL scouting director. Books, is this going to be the trade deadline year we don't hear normally from, like, the Rangers, the Leafs, the big boys, and we go now start hearing about Utah and Seattle? And, I mean, are we going to see some of these teams that have struggled for a few years, to your point about being stockpiled now and ready to who's looking?
Utah. I think Utah's a team to keep an eye on. I think the owner, similar to the ownership that came in Carolina, I think he wants to win sooner than later. He's got a lot of good things going on there, the renovation of the arena and the outdoor game next year. They seem very excited about that. I think that they're close enough to start to get aggressive. Here's the thing with them. If people want to go, Puckpedia is a partner of ours here, and shout out to Hart at Puckpedia. He's a partner of mine as well. But if you want to go take a look at their infrastructure there, guys, there's only 50 contracts, okay? And they've been drafting like 12, 14 guys a year, it seems forever.
Yeah.
They can actually overpay for something to get them over the top now for a couple of different reasons. A, they have it. B, they still have tons of draft capital. And then C, they got cap space, I guess. And then D, I mean, they're finally in a position to give that group something else, like another push, right?
They have really strong underlying numbers right now, and I think they've been red hot, if I'm not mistaken. Where are they here? Yeah, 8-1-1 their last 10. I could see them. So you're saying basically they have some prospects that could be available to someone.
They could, when we're all working together on trade deadline day, they could pull something out of their hat that we're all going to say that's an overpayment. And then you're going to come look at me in the other room and I'm going to say it's not because they've got all this.
Right.
And there comes a time that you can't fall in love with your own. Then that's what's happened. Let's be honest, guys. That's what's happened in Toronto, right? We fell in love with our own. We just kept on hoping and hoping and hoping and hoping until it starts to teeter on the brink of, and what are you left with? No draft capital. So Utah's the other one. So they can't fall in love with their own because they got too much to go around. They can overpay.
So Artemi Panarin is available right now. If you're the Rangers, you're looking at Utah could be a potential partner for them, but Panarin sounds like he wants to sign somewhere. Yeah. Are you expecting this to be some prospects? Well, what do you think is a good return here for someone like Panarin?
Well, it's going to go to one of those teams out there. You start looking at the Anaheims, and I was listening to Friedge today on the radio when I was driving in on Feuda's show and Marchese's show, and it doesn't sound like Anaheim's necessary, but I'm keeping a close eye on San Jose. I don't think Utah is a Panarin fit. No. I think if all things being equal, Panarin would love to go to Florida, for example. Why? People, I don't think because
don't have the space, do
well,
they?
no, they don't. They can't make it happen. But
happen.
Where I'm going with here is the lifestyle. Because if you're going to sign that extra
spot.
Yeah, you're going to sign that extra extension. So what do you think he's going to get? 4 or 5 years, you guys think?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
probably
so
5 years?
5 at 10.
34 years old right now.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be $50 million around there somehow, whatever the term is, right? So you got to live where you're going to go. I'm not so sure that I see Artemi Panarin going from New York City to Utah.
No.
I just don't see that. San Jose seems more realistic.
Usually we see guys that we think that might get traded that will be pulled out a weekend before the trade deadline. This is like they pull him out now.
I love this.
He's got to go. No, I hate it.
It makes so much sense. Oh, you couldn't be more wrong.
Stop it.
What if he got hurt? You blow the chance to get a first and a prospect
what
and all
this.
this.
What if you tripped over the sidewalk, JB, on your way to work? Maybe you shouldn't come to work.
Well,
like honestly,
not the same thing.
Honestly, I would piss me off if I was a player. I want to play. I'm paid to play. I want to hit some targets. They need to trade him shut him down so early to me is like.
Alexander Barkov blew out his knee first shift of practice.
Yeah.
okay, at training camp.
Yeah.
So anything's possible.
If
I'm
you're-
I'm old school here. And, respectfully,
Factor
I'm
in-
old school. If there's a Panarin fan who still exists in Rangerland, okay, and you want to go to MSG to get your last couple looks on this guy, as a fan, a diehard fan, I think we owe it to the fans for that. I don't like this stuff.
I don't like it either.
But I get the injury stuff and all this rest of it, but we can't,
How long is he going to be off? I'm going to trade for him. He's
The
going to be
risk-
off for
and
a
Artemi,
month and a half.
listen, this guy's not exactly Arnold Schwarzenegger
No.
in terms of being in shape.
No.
Okay, so he's going to
Guys,
be off for 3 weeks.
The risk
He's going to
reward.
Florida one way or another.
He's in South Beach in the Russian community right now.
The risk
But-
reward of him playing. What is the reward for him playing? A couple of fans who liked him get to see him one more time. The risk is that you miss out while trying to rebuild on a haul of assets, a first, a prospect. It's just the reward's not there for risking it. So kudos
get
to
it.
the Rangers for being smart.
Let me ask you about the goaltending market because
You see
we.
what he did there? He had to slip in the
I know he did. I know.
was
He
awesome.
does it all the time.
Does he?
All the time. Wallsted's a name that we're hearing out of Minnesota.
I'm kind of surprised. You guys
Okay.
kinda surprised?
No, I'm not surprised because you spend a lot on Quinn Hughes and you need assets. And it's a luxury now to have two really good goalies. And he needs another body, either a winger, a centerman. He needs something else besides Quinn Hughes.
How about Ottawa?
He's gonna throw Wallstead out there.
Wouldn't that be ironic? if
Ottawa
that
gets
happened?
Wallstead?
Back sort of like, through that whole. Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't this the Kevin Bacon thing? Didn't he start at the Ottawa? I'd have to look it up. I thought there was an Ottawa connection in that. Sammy, can you look at that?
What are you gonna do with the other guy?
Which one?
Gustafson?
No, you said to Ottawa.
Oh, yeah.
And what do you do with Allmark?
I haven't really thought this through yet.
Yeah, we
do
just
they have
had
a lot
it
of
thrown out
cap
there.
space?
Hey, back to my original question. Like, what kind of market do you see out
Let
there?
me throw something across the bow. Just food for thought. Just bear with me for a sec. Did you watch the Denver Broncos in NFL playoffs?
I did, yeah.
Okay. What happened when the quarterback
Yes.
went down and they had nothing behind them?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want James Reimer coming out of the weeds to play net for the Minnesota Wild?
No.
Okay. And no disrespect to Reimer. He's been had a great pro, but you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
So, it's there's risk reward in this
Yeah.
type of a scenario. You're right, because when you get a really good goalie and you want to Stanley Cup run, guess what the other guy does? He watches and he stops pucks from the Black Aces during the day. That's what they do. So I understand.
Bobrovsky, Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
Olmark's got 3 years after this. Just throwing it out there.
At 8.25.
825, yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
a tough
conversation for another day. There's going to be a huge market for the goaltender, Wallstead. Actually, let me backtrack on that.
Hildeby?
Leafs have luxury there, too.
Luxury.
Yeah. Well,
that's an interesting.
serviceable
Yeah.
goalies.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? I'll throw Vancouver into the mix. Do you think Demko is going to be, Demko when he comes back? Like who knows? They don't.
Do you think they would want another goalie? Is that what you're saying? Or you think they would trade?
Well, they got Lankinen signed long term, and then it kind of it's a maybe after that.
Yeah.
I think they would entertain all kinds of different things for sure. Like Lankinen was in August last year. He was on the Heap. Remember that? He signed
Yeah.
late in August, had a great year, and got his extension.
And Valley said he was going to have a great year. Boom.
That guy, by the way, I watch him when he's on here. That's a hell of a guest.
Yeah.
And
he puts in the work.
Any
too, just
team
like
on
you.
the outside looking in, I know we covered the Leafs, but any other team on the outside looking in that has tremendous pressure that you think that
I still
is
think
under
the
the
New
gun?
Jersey Devils have tons of pressure.
Ooh, good one.
I really do.
they haven't written their season off yet?
I would be very surprised if Fitzy's written their season off. I'd be fascinated to be a bug on the wall in the meetings. But haven't we been talking about New Jersey the last couple of years, guys, taking that next step?
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's a goaltending again. You need people to stop the pill.
Yeah.
You need somebody to make.
It's funny, Markstrom and Ullmark are very comparable, and both teams had a long-running problem they tried to solve with a big name, and neither guy did it. It's tough.
Books, anything else we're missing, or we covered a lot?
We covered a lot. Yeah, I could hot stove it for a little bit longer, but I got to go to work, unfortunately, on the other side.
Oh, yeah. We got to set him free.
Buddy, so appreciate you coming by.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys. That was great.
Thanks, Books. Appreciate it, bud.
Jason Bukala, Sportsnet's very own pro scout. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we return, Sammy McKee will enlighten us for the remaining of our show. Sammy, can you sing, dance, tap? Nothing? Okay, we'll figure it out. Back after these words. As a reminder, this hour, Real Kyper and Bourne, brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee.
I love Jason so much.
Yeah.
I really feel kind of bad even being back here, just how much better it is with him. He's very good.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
question.
It's all
No question.
It's all from your view, your point of view. And his is through scouting and being in those rooms and being a part of something that's incredibly intense right now for all teams, and that is making these moves that could strengthen you or weaken you.
This got to be.
And wearing it every day.
Yeah.
You guys talked about it a little bit with Books, but I wanted to bring it up here again. That Panarin thing yesterday, we got to do game time here still too, but just before we get to that, if you're the Rangers, you must be like, seriously, bud? Like you won't go to a contender for couple months here, and then you can sign wherever the hell you want on July 1st. It's like you're really going to do that and sap the value. Like that sucks.
The reports out there of who's interested in Panarin are like comical. 14 teams, every team is being listed.
Yeah.
So I think they still have a wide array of teams to offer.
But like
him
if he's
to.
like, I'm going to sign with these 3 teams, I don't know. That really hurts you if you're the Rangers. You're like, okay, great. Like I got to take way less on this because he's not willing to sign there. You can't go live in.
We've been talking for a long time.
Utah for 3 months.
We've been talking for a long time how the pendulum swung in the players' favor. And I wrote an article today in the Toronto Star, kind of talking a little bit about that. And they've been empowered from their dress codes to no move clauses to getting money, becoming multi-millionaires of the $40, $50, and $60 million before they're 24 years of age. Like, there's a whole new world out there. The way Panarin's thinking right now is, I'm picking my spot, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm. Sucks for the Rangers because they made the right decision to sell, and they sent out Chris Drury sent out the letter 2.0, and then like your number one asset's like, yeah, but I'll only sign with Florida, so.
But he might sign with 3 teams, depending. We don't know what they're limited to exactly.
But like, where of the contenders would you picture? Like Detroit? Would he sign long term in Detroit?
Detroit.
San Jose.
I give
San Jose is kind of a common.
Marchand a lot of credit here because he could have easily done the same thing and said, I'm not going anywhere to Boston unless I got a nice, big, fat contract waiting for me.
Right.
And he didn't. You know what he did? He went there.
Loved it.
And he proved I'm not just a third-line winger coming in here. And he turned himself into the most important player on that team.
And he got a 14-year contract as a result.
He signed until he's 68 years old.
And as he should have.
Yep.
Right?
Well,
because
he
had the guts to go and bet on himself.
He's got guts, no doubt about it.
That was King Kong. The size of King Kong.
It's game time, presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Who wrote this lineup? Is this right? 15 games on tap tonight, boys?
Whoa.
Lot of hockey.
It's almost a
going
frozen frenzy. Remember the frozen frenzy?
Did they do that anymore?
Once a
Did they
year, I
stop
think
that?
we do all 16.
So who's not playing? I don't think Columbus is playing tonight. I don't know who the other team is. Anyways, I'm going to quickly look at this one because you know me, Jersey matchup guy. Colorado and Montreal tonight facing off at the Bell Center, and the Colorado Avalanche are wearing the throwback Quebec Nordiques jerseys against the red Montreal Canadiens.
They should have to give the city of Quebec, and I am sincere in saying this, like $1 million every time they do it. Just every time they want to wear that jersey in Montreal.
But to
give Quebec City
in
$1 million.
Quebec.
Yeah,
give hockey programs in Quebec City. Here's $1 million.
Quebec City, $1 million. We're wearing it again.
Well, maybe they could develop us a goalie again.
Drag your carcass around the city of Montreal tonight and cheer for it.
You know what?
I'd go wild.
You know what though? This is probably a crazy take and one that I'm not in it. If I was a former Nordiques fan and the Colorado Avalanche are so good, you know what? I'd be like, yeah, screw it. I'd throw on the old baby blue and head down to the Bell Center and root.
Traitor.
Well, honestly, though, they're doing it. They're rubbing it in your. You might as well be there. Anyways, just the line for the game tonight. The Montreal Canadiens, as you would imagine, a slight underdog. Plus 105 on the money line. Colorado going in there after getting spanked by the Ottawa Senators. minus 125 on the money line for them. Looking down the list of games, going out to Toronto and Seattle, minus 110, both sides of the money line. Good one in Vegas. Dallas in Vegas to take on the Golden Knights. Dallas there, a slight underdog, plus 100 on the money line. Vegas is a minus 120 favorite. That was Game Time presented by Bet365. Visit the app latest odds and see why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Allmark not ready to still start. I will give James Reimer some love here because he's can't ask for anything more out of a guy to go in there, and like it was a good moment for him beating Colorado.
Totally. I don't get being ready to be a backup but not the goalie. Like you're either ready to play.
Totally agree.
In which case you can play, or you're not ready to play, in which case if we need you, you're not ready to play.
Just go back to our conversation just a few minutes ago. Like, it's all in the power now. They've got the hammer. He's making 8.25. The Ottawa Senators are at their mercy with this guy. They have no other choice but just to, what do you need? What do you need? What do you want? What can we give you? What can we, okay, tell us when you're ready. I mean, it's like, it's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. But that's it. He's going to let us know. When he's ready to play, he will let us know. That's what you're down to.
But Bourne's right. Then why are you on the bench if you're not ready?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not like James Reimer. How old is Reimer? Like,
but if you,
40.
You could easily.
If you answer the question, if you answer the question, there's a chance that you think that you might upset him.
Mm-hmm. Are we ready to talk about the Leafs article today about the, there's an article today in The Athletic written about some Leafs player, performance staff, strength and conditioning, all that sort of stuff, and that they've lost a couple positions, and that's why they got more injuries. They had the former performance coach, Jeremy Bettel, give some quotes.
And Brad Treliving is wild about it.
Yeah, he went on our rival network.
He went on TSN
to discuss that.
With the writer.
Yeah, with Jonas was on the show. Yeah. But it is interesting because in it, there's a line from Bettel where he says something like, Babcock never disputed when we told him a guy was available, unavailable. It is interesting that behind the scenes,
I'm not sure I totally believe that.
Well, whatever.
I mean,
but I'm just saying there's a lot of conversations behind the scenes.
But Mike Babcock, the hockey coach?
Is that after
Jeff Epstein,
is that after he went through your phone?
Yeah.
Hey, now.
Oh, wow.
But I'm just saying, there's a lot of conversations behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Between people. Is he ready? Isn't he ready? We remember the documentary very well. The Toronto Maple Leafs. They're going, is Freddie Anderson on the ice?
There's so many of them scared now of these guys.
It is a fascinating world of availability. Because there's another line in that article which points out, and this is Bettel again, saying he had to tell their sports science department, we are not a sports science team. We're a hockey team. You could protect guys from ever getting hurt by never playing.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get them in the game, which is an interesting aspect of what everyone is doing. How do you get guys ready?
They are no different than analytics. It's a tool, but they're not the decision makers, okay? They're not.
I think in some teams they've been given that authority.
If you got the opposite of King Kong, balls.
How long you took deciding if you're going to say it or not. Good choice, though.
Yeah.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
Go talk to them and just use it. But come on, use your better judgment. At the end of the day, a coach, a player, and the information that you get. But to sit there and tell me that every injury was like put in this predicament because you lost these two guys, I don't completely buy it.
No.
Okay?
I mean, Tree said that they've basically upped their
I'll tell you something, though.
Maybe playing every other night for 3 months.
I would have liked them around for, like, Willie Nylander, who has a groin pull, comes out, goes back in. Does he come back too soon? Like, there's some science behind maybe bringing him back a game too early or 2 games too early that you would have liked to maybe have more information on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not discounting that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's a general manager, there's a coach. You guys are in charge.
Yeah.
Not these guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then the player has their input too, and they lie to the coaches and GMs depending if they want to play and not, and it's a whole circus. Is he available? Is he not available?
How about your boy Palat?
Palat.
I like that.
I like him. Palat.
You got me to it.
I like it. Palat.
That's got to feel good.
Yeah.
You're a general manager.
Right in the bumper on the power play, first rip.
Isn't it like,
boom.
but no, just like for Darsh.
Yeah.
Where there's probably some people that are like, really? And then like,
stretching in the
like,
owner. Yeah.
Are the Islanders just warming up a little bit here?
Another win, I guess so.
I think the additions they just made kind of show where their intentions are. And Sammy, didn't you say that there was a Darsh quote?
Yeah, he went on with Frank Cervelli on his Frankly Speaking, right? He does it with Buchagras, and Darsh went on there, and they asked him about being aggressive at the deadline, and then I think he said, "Yeah, I worked with Julian Breezewa. You know, I'm not exactly afraid to get rid of first round picks." And then if I'm that guy, if I'm Brad Living and I hear that, after I'm calling and being like, "Hey, you ever see this guy Bobby McMahon play hockey?
You gotta see
Bobby McMahon.
Oh my God!
Yeah, if you got a first to part with, he can fly.
I think Horvat can skate.
All right, what else you got for us, Sammy?
Oh, we got a few things. This one, Jaja spent a lot of time on. I looked over at him. He looked like he was doing brain surgery, so we better play it. But Barry Trotz was on, I forget which radio station he was on, with Willie Donich, the guy that does the play-by-play for the Predators. And he was talking about potentially trading Ryan O'Reilly.
Who, by the way, is unbelievable this year.
Yeah, he's
18
having a great
goals,
year.
51 points as a defensive
centerman.
stud.
So if we could play that clip there, Derek, the Trotz clip on potential Ryan O'Reilly trade.
Is it safe to assume that Ryan O'Reilly will not be traded before the deadline?
No, I think everything has to be on the table. As I said, I have not had any conversations with Ryan on any of his situation. If there's I have to listen to all offers. If there's an offer that blows my mind a bit, then I have to listen.
My balls.
But at the same time, we're not in the playoffs, and that's the bottom line. So, as I said earlier in the year, nothing's off the table, and it shouldn't be. We'll be fair and understanding, but we'll also be understanding that we're trying to build something here and build it for a new core, build it for the future, and get it running back to the standard that we're a threat every year. And it's going to take some time, patience, all that, but nothing's off the table on anybody.
They got to have the best roster of a bad team.
102.5 the game in Nashville.
Give the players credit for getting his phone to start ringing again. It wasn't ringing.
Yeah, they were hot. They're one of the best teams in the league.
October, November, it was like you're thinking you're stuck.
Mm.
And now he's not. Now he's in a position of strength, and he's going to be smart enough to use it.
And he talked about getting their next core. That's a fascinating thing because their team, they got big names: Forsberg, Stamkos, Marchessault, O'Reilly, Yossi, Shea. Like they got players, but they're not winning a cup.
No.
So you got to start looking at what's our next core, and I think tough to strip it all the way down anywhere, but seems like they know what they got to do.
For me, if I'm a team that's interested in a center and I'm like linked to Nazem Kadri, I'm putting as much time and effort into calling on Ryan O'Reilly as Nazem Kadri. I think Ryan O'Reilly, I mean, he's won the Conn Smythe, obviously, so you can look back on that. That was a while ago.
Prefer you get 2 playoff runs. You don't have to worry about the long contract. It's cheaper.
He's just been a playoff performer. Like that time that he was with the Leafs in those playoff games, like you wanted him on the ice in big moments. He's responsible. He can shoot in the net. He's got the weirdest blade in the league. Got a little hook on it.
Yeah,
I love Ryan O'Reilly.
What do you think, Mini?
Detroit?
Mini.
I can see that.
Detroit
should do it. I can see Mini. I can see doing
Montreal.
Montreal, eh?
Montreal needs a center.
I mean, yes, it's a fantastic fit in Montreal. Yes,
and you don't have to. And like you mentioned,
it's going to be expensive. But
you don't have to worry about the longer part.
Like Dallas.
If I'm looking at a team though, Montreal is a team. I'm like, I'd like to trade with you. They've got picks. They got a lot of prospects. Like they're.
Nashville has a whack of picks, man. They got 4 third-rounders next year, just as a random year. But they got, 11, 12 picks in the upcoming draft.
So we also have a clip here from, I guess we already talked about Panarin.
What's that?
So maybe we won't play maybe the moment's passed. But Sullivan talked about Panarin after the game last night. You guys were talking about how you hate him, or you were talking about how you hate him sitting out.
Yeah. Just this early.
Do you want to play the clip?
Unless you're trading him like soon, aren't they going to trade him?
No, they're not. They're not.
Should be like do it in the next few days here.
Do you want to play the clip, or was that moment passed?
I'd like to hear. I like all your clips, Sammy.
Thanks, Jaja. Let's play the Sullivan clip on Panarin, please.
Well, obviously, Brett's a terrific player and a great teammate, and he's good friends with a lot of the guys that are in that dressing room. So, that has an impact on guys. I thought our guys did a great job just as far as controlling what they can and bringing the right intentions out there, but. Obviously, he's one of the best Rangers of his generation, and he's not an easy guy to replace when he's not in the lineup. But everybody understands it, and we're going to control what we can, and we're going to see what we can take from this one. We're going to try to put our best game on the ice tomorrow.
Sucks for Sullivan. I think he's a good coach, but he just kind of walked into a bit of a hornet's nest.
Curious to see how much they sell.
The highest paid coach, him and Coop.
In the league?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
What do you get, 5 times 3 or something?
North.
Wow.
North. So
he's gonna be there.
It's long term. He's not in a real hurry to win the Stanley Cup in the first year, although it would have been nice for them to make the playoffs. I don't think he went there thinking he had the pressure of the world to win the Stanley Cup. So he's just settling in, man. He ain't going anywhere, and he's going to be part of this retool or rebuild or whatever they want to call it.
They do have work to do. Like if you look at what their next core is, it's not pretty.
No, and the majority of the guys they got to get rid of are 32, 33, 34.
Long deals.
But
Panarin, Zibanejad, JT Miller, Trocheck.
Miller's not going anywhere. They're going to still try to do this thing around him.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, yeah.
Trocheck.
Miller is 32.
Trocheck will go because he also is needing a new contract, I think.
No.
Next year.
No.
No, after next year.
Nope.
2 years?
3 years after this year. 5.6.
Okay, so that's not bad. But, okay, so it's not necessarily the contract you got to worry about. It's the fact that his peak. No, his peak. Yeah, he's not going to get any stronger as he gets older. And his peak value right now is with that contract.
Right.
So that is the first rounder or an A prospect.
Yeah.
So, boys, what's the plan for tonight? You're on at 10 o'clock. Are you guys going home first? You're going to go have a nice bite to eat?
I don't know how openly I've talked about this, but I'm working on a Daryl Sutter book.
Oh.
Daryl is a very fascinating, coach / he's got these theories. I love working with Daryl. So I'm spending some time on that tonight and put some words on the paper.
Give us a little bit of
Sure.
Give us a little bit of insight of what we can expect.
The other day I asked him, I said, how with Seven Brothers did none of you end up a goalie? Like, surely someone went net. And he goes, well, you choked to death. And I said, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And he goes, because of the rope. I was like, Daryl, what are you talking about? He's like, well, you hung a rope from above the net in the barn and you put it around the goalie's neck because back then it was illegal to go down. You're a stand-up goalie. So if you played goal, they put it around your neck so you couldn't go down. So no one wanted to play net because you'd end up choking.
That is way better than I expected.
I am so happy I didn't grow up on a farm.
No kidding. I loved it.
Well, we'll look forward to that, JB.
Yes, sir.
That's unreal.
Our thanks to Jason Bukala, Pro Sports Group, and Sportsnet's very own NHL scout. How many games on tap, we said?
15, boys.
15.
Hockey.
Justin and I will be part of one of them. Enjoy your night, everybody. Off the Rails Friday with Doug McLean tomorrow.